Welcome to SRL 360 for season 5, and I'm joined here by Lachlan Martin, Tim James, and Tyrone Clay. How are we doing, boys?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great.
I'm
Yeah,
doing
same.
good. Should be a good season. Sorry for those technical issues we had. Hopefully everything is all good now. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, hope.
I'm just gonna keep refreshing the page until I start streaming. Hopefully. Oh yes, it's live. We are live.
Yeah, we're live.
We did
We're
it.
live.
Yes.
We did it, boys.
We did it, boys.
It's
Yeah.
an accomplishment that we're even
Alright.
starting. But let's head on straight to the ladder predictions. Who's gonna go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
So, letter predictions. I'm gonna start with the wooden spoon. I think the wooden spoon is obviously gonna be the Panthers. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna say judging by maybe the forward packs or something. I think maybe I hate to say it, but the Eels, they seem to lack, like forwards, but that could change, to be honest. Seventh, I'm gonna have to say maybe Rabbitohs. Just looking at how much players they've lost in the off season is like embarrassing, and they couldn't even like get any good players in. So I'm gonna say seventh. Sixth, I'm gonna go. F word. I mean Knights. I don't know. They're just the Knights, and they stole a couple of our players. So I'm just putting that there due to biased opinions. Fifth, I'm gonna say Broncos. They've obviously improved with recruitment, and like as you can see, they got Corey Bell and Joey Kelly, and pardon me, a couple other players. So yeah, I'm gonna say fourth. I'm gonna say the Raiders, my boys. Obviously we've had a bit of a tough off season with getting players to come back to us when we lost a couple. So our forward pack and our backs, they're all right, but I still think we're gonna get the fourth place. Third, I'm gonna say the Warriors. Maybe because they're like pretty consistent with their placements, but I don't know where they finished last season. But I'm gonna say third for them. Second, ooh, wait a second. Yeah, second. I'm gonna say Manly. I don't know. They just, even though they have like a couple unknown players, no offense, but they still managed to like turn up, and then they make a name for themselves because they went to Manly, and because Matt Harris is such a good coach, captain. Whoops, he's such a good captain. Like he always turns players into like good players. And wait a second. Oh, 1 second, boys. I
What?
think I messed up on this because
Yeah, I
You
think
said
you
you went
did.
ninth to
if
seventh.
if I
You went ninth to seventh.
if I'm doing this correctly, it says Panthers are first.
Yeah,
Oh,
obviously.
lovely.
Obviously, I don't think they can finish first.
I'm actually gonna stick by that. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna stick by
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Obviously because
We're the best. Obviously, we'll win.
their forward pack.
Yeah.
Did I miss a team? I think I started at 8.
Cowboys?
I think you missed
Did you
someone.
get Cowboys?
I missed Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Fuck,
Oh, they're
man.
coming last then. Oh.
They're coming
no,
second
no.
last. They're coming eighth.
Confirmed.
Probably,
Tim
they
James
probably
thinks
beat
Cowboys
somebody.
coming
So, I'm looking at the team. I'm looking at like team list, and they haven't done
Yeah, same.
there. So
Yeah, well,
they got
that's
them
why
high,
I missed
so-
out on them. Why? Whatever. Yeah, that's my mistake. Cowboys would probably be top 4 or something. I'll
Yeah.
move Manly out to like top 5 or something, and then not top 5, top 9. Cowboys can move.
Top 9.
And Penrith
Top
first,
9,
I guess.
boys.
Penrith first, because they're 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have Kane, Chapman, Kenny. Like,
Yeah.
guys,
Good signing.
he's
To
a
be
good
honest, I don't even have
player.
that much faith in my own team.
Oh, mate.
We'll get to I guess we'll do.
You're saying that before, bro. You literally said your team is gonna like win the comp because you guys have the best fucking forward.
I said we have the best fullback. We have
swear.
other areas that I have concerns about privately, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we would.
I guess I'll do mine next. I have on my ladder prediction. I have 9th. I think the Eels. I think they're a no-brainer. I think I get like what Luke Short and their captaincy crew down there are trying to build, but I just don't I'm still not a fan. I think their forward pack is really, really slow. And they're going to have to be carried by the likes of Levi Raymond, Blake Harris, Cherry Evans, and Brody Kennedy, which is a pretty good spine. But I don't know if they'll be able to do much off the back of that forward pack. At 8th, I'm going to have the Rabbitohs. I think, sorry, Liam and Tyrone, but I don't see much of your team doing well this year. I think you guys have a good spine similar to the Eels, but just the forward pack is lacking. I do think your defense is pretty good. I'll give you that. Your defense was good in the Lions. I think that's something you can work off, but I think there's not going to be a lot of go forward, which could be something you could struggle with. 7th, I have the Raiders. They have a very, again, similar to the past two teams, they have a very good spine, but they've just lost a lot of players, you know. They've lost Jordan Williams, who was arguably their best forward last season. They've lost Sabbath to Ua, probably their second best forward last season. They've lost more. I just can't think of them. Jack O'Neill's another one they've lost. I think they'll struggle this year. 6, I have the Warriors. They've got a lot. I think most of their side is either very, very quality, like one of the best in their positions, or as a nobody. So I think they'll average out about 6. They've have a lot. They're good camaraderie. They're very good at keeping the team together down there. But I just don't see. I think a lot of teams will leapfrog them this season, which just pushes them down to about 6. 5th, I have the new franchise, the Knights, mainly because I think they've got a good side, but they're just a step below the top 4, who I think are going to be. They'll be the 4. I think any 4 of the teams in the top 4 can win pretty much. 4th, I'm going to go my own club, the Penrith Panthers. I think I've got probably one of the best forward packs in the comp, but I'm more worried about. I think our attack could be a bit of a worry, which is other than obviously our forwards. I think our attack in terms of our backline could be a little bit of an issue. 3rd, I'm going to go the Manly Seagulls. I think they have a very good side. I think some of their signings are very interesting. I think Tyler Weston will get into his own skin there, but I think a few of their losses may hurt them in the long run. 2nd, I'll have the Premiers, the Cowboys, and 1st, I'll go for Broncos. That's my ladder prediction.
Nice. I'll go next. So, Wooden Spooners, I do also have the Eels. I like Luke Short as a captain, but I actually don't like what they're building. Just their forward pack's lacking compared to everyone else's. 8th, bold call. I'm going to go the Raiders. I just think, as Lachlan said, they've lost too many good players to refill the positions. I just don't think they can fill those positions again, like Jack O'Neill and etc. 7th, I got my own boys, South Sydney Rabbitohs. The only worry with our team, Liam, I think, is our attack. I just don't think we can defend well, but I just don't think we'll be able to score enough points.
Yeah, I just can't. I can agree with
6th,
that.
I have the new franchise, the Newcastle Knights. And this is a tough one because personally, I think that every team above them has a better side than them. That's the only reason why they're down here. I think if some of these other teams had recruited differently, might have changed. But I'm going to put them 6th now. Now 5th, I have the Warriors. I just like what they're doing. They haven't changed much at the team, which can be a good thing, but can also backfire on them in ways. 4th, now any of the top 4 can realistically come in. Oh, who's going to get top 4? I am going to go 4th, Manly. I feel like they're not like what they used to be. They weren't like season 3 and 4 and season 2 and 3 Manly. They're different now. I think they're going to have to get used to it, to being lower down on the ladder. 3rd, I'm going to go with the Brisbane Broncos. I like what they're doing. Some of their signings, I'm like, they could push for the premiership. I'm just going to say that now. They can push for the premiership. And I hope they have a good season. I want to be honest. But second, I'm going to go the Cowboys, which could come as a surprise. Obviously, being premiership winners, I think they'll back it up again. They'll do well. Just be the same as last season, I reckon. But first is Penrith. I have Penrith first. Their recruitment has been the best from anyone in the comp. To get Kane Chapman-Kenny in, that's a huge plus to have a leader in that back line. To also have you, Lachlan Martin, also Malchus. You just have well-built forward pack. And I reckon, I'm going to say a bold call, Penrith will win the comp.
I swear to God, I so want you to be
Penrith
right so
will
badly,
win the comp.
But
they're going to turn it. It's going to be the biggest turnaround in the history of the SRL.
I mean,
I hope you're right, but
that-
I have my own concerns. But anyway, I guess that leaves you, Liam, doesn't it?
yeah, it does. So for my predictions in the SRL and for my ladder prediction, I've got, just like everyone else, ninth. I've got the Eels. I just don't think their forward pack's fast enough for everyone else. They're not far. They're just. I've got huge concerns around them. And like as we're saying, their spine's very good, but apart from Brody Kennedy, I just don't think they've got enough. Like even no one else on that team can make meters when everyone else is struggling apart from Brody Kennedy. It's just like there's nothing else there apart from Kennedy. But in eighth, I think, I think, sadly, I think the Rabbitohs will finish eighth. As much as I want to back them higher, I don't think at this current minute we have enough go forward. But I'm hoping that I'm wrong. Yeah. In seventh, I've got the Warriors. I just don't like what they achieved last season. It was barely anything, and to say that they're gonna get better from that, they're gonna like it wasn't anything great. They made fourth. What is that? Is that an accomplishment? They went out and got nobody. They got two rookies in and lost one or two players. That's it. All the other teams got better as we're saying. So I just can't see them doing very well. In sixth place, I've got Canberra. I think they'll do reasonably well. But yeah, Eli Barnes may struggle with a forward pack like that, but I hope not for Canberra's sake. In fifth place, I've got the Cowboys. I think they've lost a fair few players. Like it's really tough for me, and the rest of the teams have just got better. It's simple as that. I think their forward pack, even with Lord, I don't think it's that good. Well, it's got Kasako and Johnson, but they've lost two big forwards in Callum Irwin and Robbo Moviston. I think they're going to lose a lot from that. And it will be the disruption of having their 5'8" in Rohan in their halfback in Rohan Corral. So I just think that's why I finished fifth. In fourth place, I have the Manly Sea Eagles. I just think Matty Harris is too class to have his side finishing any lower than top four. He is so good with upgrades. He manages them so well that even the rookies, they'll shine in that team. He makes them shine. And Chaz Dingo is an incredible player. I think he'll do extremely well again this year, going back to fullback. So in third place, I've got the Brisbane Broncos. I think they've had some brilliant recruitment. Jackson Allison, he'll be a class player for them. They've got some really good backs in Corey Bell and Joey Kelly. I think they'll do extremely well this year. And in second place, I have got the. What have I got left? What have I got left? I've got the Panthers. Sorry, my bad.
Have you mentioned the Knights?
the Knights. That's my bad. All right, in second place, we got the Knights. Yeah, I think the Knights are extremely talented side with Jack O'Neill. You know, Robbo Mobston, absolutely insane, a really good signing for them. I think, you know, they'll have a really good forward pack in Logan Strange. He'll teach them ropes of the SRL. And they'll do extremely well. In first place, I've got the Pembroke Panthers. I think they'll do extremely well with this new side, and they'll do extremely. They'll probably win the comp. To be honest, I just think their forward pack, it's incredible. Their recruitment strategy was awesome, and fair play to them.
You know, I really don't like all this pressure
That's
people are
my
putting
lot
on
of
me. They're putting all this pressure on me. I don't think we're as good as everyone else is saying we are.
No, I want to jump in. Did I say that the Panthers are going to be premiership winners?
No, you said
I don't
Cowboys.
know.
I thought you said Cowboys.
No, I didn't say. I'll say Raiders. I forgot to do that. I'll say Raiders win it though.
Oh,
Oh no, not Raiders, not Raiders. Penrith. I'll say Penrith win it.
yeah, thanks,
So
bud.
I've said Penrith. Tim said Penrith. Liam said Penrith.
I don't think...
What
Anyways,
does
I
Butters
hope we
have
win
to
the
say about
premiership.
it though?
Yeah, what does Butters have to say?
Because
Oh,
Butters is
Butters,
here now.
yeah.
As the minor premiers. To me, yeah, I'm gonna go through mine. Last place, got to be the Eels. You know, I just don't think they've got enough real strike power with them. In 8th place, I have the Warriors. You know, their team really lacks a lot of forward speed, but so do the bottom 3 or 4, in my opinion. In 7th, I'm going to chuck the what are they called? The Knights. I don't know. I'm not too hot on them right now, but it could definitely change after the first round. In 6th, I have the Rabbitohs. We just don't have that great of a forward pack right now. I think our backline isn't something to sleep on, but yeah, our forward pack really lets us down. In 5th, I have the Raiders. You know, they lost a couple of players, but they're still a very strong team. In 4th, I'm going to put Manly. I mean, they lost quite a few major players, but they still have Chaz Dingo, Will Kay, Matty Harris, and a lot of really quick forwards and backs. In 3rd, I have the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are a really strong team, but the top 2 teams are really ahead of the game right now, in my opinion. In 2nd place, I have the Broncos. I think Jack has done really well with recruiting-wise and getting his players to upgrade. And in 1st place, I have the Panthers. I think they've just got a really strong backline. They're getting a better forward pack. One position that they do need to work on is probably the halves. Yeah, I mean, you've got Ash Crutcher, but at the same time, Ethan Delaney isn't a real proven half, in my opinion. Yeah, that's my ladder.
Who'd you say was going to win the premiership though?
Premiership.
Penrith. Is it Penrith?
I don't think. Yeah, I think minor premiership you can predict, but I think premiership's a lot harder. You see, last season, like the Cowboys really, both the Cowboys and the Raiders, wasn't it, that made the final? I don't think many people would have tipped both of them to be in the final. So
Especially with that Manly there, since Manly was so dominant at the beginning of the year.
yeah, So minor premiership, Penrith premiership. I'm gonna go Broncos.
Fair enough.
I
I
mean,
think when you... Sorry to cut you off there, but as I'm continue.
Oh, good. I think their lineup just they, in my opinion, Penrith and Broncos are going to be the two grand final teams, but I think that the Broncos team is a very good counter to the Panthers team.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think when you look at like the Broncos team, right, I think there's a lot of... They've sort of got a all-rounded teams. I wouldn't say there's one area where they stood out in, but I also wouldn't say there's one area where they're the best team in. They're probably like second or third in nearly every area, which is probably something that's good. Whereas you look at Penrith team, I think we probably have the best forward pack. But I think there's a little bit concerns when you look at our 6, 7, and 9 at the moment, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Which was a concern, which was, other than 9 was never a concern because we had Mark Lee, but when we looked at our tide last year, compared, like, our 6 and our halves has always been an issue, pretty much since ever. It's pretty much been an issue for quite a while at Penrith, the halves. We've never really settled on a half combination, and I think that is something that could come back to bite me, not really going after a genuine half. I'm sort of just... If I'm honest, I'm sort of just hoping that with a good forward pack, we'll give our halves more time and space.
Yeah.
But, like, when you look at the Broncos, for example, which is why I think they're more likely to win the comp, is they have more... Even though they're probably... I wouldn't say they're the best in any area. Maybe the back line, they might be the best team in, but they're second and third in nearly every area. I'd probably say they're in the top 3 or 4 for forward pack.
Yeah.
Top 3 or 4 for the halves. They're just... thereabouts for every area, and that's good. They've got a very, very well-rounded team, the Broncos, in my opinion.
Well said, mate.
I think
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm probably going to move on to, I guess we'll sort of talk more about each team in general. I think when you look at some other teams, like obviously Tim, you're mentioning that you're not impressed though or not tipping Raiders doing the comp. I think with the Raiders, it's sort of more of a thing with, they did lose a lot of power. It's how they react to that. And I think, you could say you have Eli Barnes, but you got to remember, last time Eli Barnes' team didn't have the greatest forward pack. We know what happened.
Yeah, but you're forgetting about, we got Rahul Kawal, we got Fetu, we got Tim James, we got fucking... Oh, sorry for swearing. Who else do we got? Well, we got Ben
That's the
Arnold.
problem. Who else do you have?
Underrated. He's underrated.
I
We
don't
got
like...
Aaron Leonidas. You guys are forgetting all about these players. You're forgetting about Luke Thompson.
He's
Like,
not.
I
a
think
forward.
Luke Thompson
He's
and
not a
Eli
forward.
Barnes and yourself are very good players, but I'm talking about that forward pack. You've only really got
Oh, shit.
your
Yes, I
captain
did.
and Rangel Fetu. Other than that, I think your forward packs are weak. And it's
I
just
agree.
those. It's just those
What about
two.
Jordan Lewis?
And I'm
What
worried
about
that
Jordan
if you don't
Lewis?
have that strong forward pack going forward like you have in the past few seasons, that Eli Barnes is going to have time, yourself is going to have time, and Luke Thompson is going to have time to really get the opportunity to show off your attack.
Alright, you keep saying that. You say that.
That's what I'm worried about. We saw that happen. We saw a very simulation. Both you and Eli Barnes were at the Eels in season 3 when a similar thing happened. You both overall struggled when you guys didn't have, a genuine forward pack.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We'll see what happens, I guess. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Lachlan there. Your forward pack is a little, what's it called? Just slow, and you got the strength there, obviously, with Kawal, Fehu, but you just don't have the speed to keep up with forward packs like Manly, Cowboys, Broncos, or Penrith.
Yeah, that's true.
You've also lost. You haven't just lost
See how it
forwards
goes.
too. You've also lost. I know you gained Marshall Edwards, but you also lost both your wingers. who were very good for you. They were very good at getting your set started early. I think Marshall Edwards might fill one of those holes, but you had two quality wingers on both sides. Like, who's the other winger you've named this week? Other than Marshall.
Demando, is
Xavier
it?
Demando.
Yeah,
it's
Demando.
Xavier Demando.
I don't rate Demando, to be completely honest. He is a better replacement than no replacement than having a rookie or something. But we saw in the Mines he was able to get space, but he was very slow. He looked slow, and he was run down quite easily in the Mines. In the Nines, sorry.
The Mines.
I meant in the Nines.
The Mines.
Yeah.
Well, that's Nines, my guy. Like, anything could happen there. Like,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
whenever
it
he had
happens.
space, he was run down very quickly, Xavier Demando.
Yeah.
he's just, it's the Nines, mate. He didn't have to try. Mate, he's just saving it up for the 31st, so he'll be fine.
Actually, you guys playing on the 1st of February, but
Oh,
anyway.
mate, I don't even know when we play, alright? I haven't been keeping up. That's fine. But, you know, all this shit, all this crap talking about my team, that's fine.
And you get prove me wrong.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
It feel good to prove you guys wrong. Be great.
This is just karma for the fact that I've predicted you guys 2 years in a row to win the premiership, and both times I've been proven wrong. So
Mate, we nearly won it last year. But
yeah,
then
but you still didn't. So I'm not taking that risk again.
Yeah, he's
we
got a
made the
point.
grand final.
Yeah, I still don't care.
Yeah, but he didn't win.
I also tipped you guys in season 3 was made to look silly when you guys ended up finishing like 6.
That was a
I can't
rebuilding
remember that.
stage. That was rebuilding. We'll be fine.
You rebuilt it after you made a semi-final. Great job. Anyways, what do we have next? Do we want to? Do we have any news in the SRL recently? Anything like that?
Any news?
Snicker Bro following a few people. Stuff like
Snicko,
that.
bro. Well, let's
Oh,
not give him
Snicko.
Do we even
Yeah.
want to give him the airtime?
Boys. Let's not give him any attention, alright? Let's not give that
No,
guy
yeah.
any attention.
We're not
Yeah,
giving
yeah,
him airtime. Why are we going to give this guy airtime?
Oh.
This guy,
Yeah.
bro.
Good
Oh,
point.
here we go. Oh, shit. Sorry. Yeah, nah, don't give him
We
any
didn't need to
airtime,
mention.
boys. Don't need to mention him.
He doesn't deserve it.
He got dropped on his ass. All that
That's
shit.
it.
It's all good, though. Other than that,
Really,
is
but-
there any other news in the SRL?
No, not really.
Maybe a couple sponsors. Any sponsors?
Yeah, maybe the sponsors.
We have quite a few.
There's been a
sponsors
fair
in
few
the SRL.
sponsorships.
Obviously,
Yeah, run us
thanks
through,
to
mate. Run us through.
thanks to everyone to sponsor. I'll run you. I can run through each of the sponsors. That is part of my job, as they have paid money to someone that I will not state who for
How much you getting paid, mate?
sponsoring
How much you getting paid?
the
How much?
SRL.
1 second.
Ooh.
Oh, no. Wait here. More do I say, Lachlan? This news, this around the league thing is kind of
Yeah.
silly. Kind of silly.
The around the
It
league
says-
thing.
yeah, no. I'm
Why?
just kinda-
Because you're in there, Tim.
No, it says here. I'm
I
in the front lot.
actually, that wasn't even. You think I did that to the stir the pot? I actually genuinely thought that was a thing that Caval was going to do based on the fact you guys did that in the nines.
Why would they move a 2-time hooker of the year to lock, bro? I ain't trying to risk nothing.
Aaron O'Hare did it, and he was probably the best hooker in the game when he moved there. He look how good he is at lock now.
Best hooker in the game when he moved to hooker.
When he moved to
Yep.
lock.
He was the best hooker in the
Ah.
game when he moved to lock, and it worked very well for
That
them.
is
I
true.
genuinely think that's a thing the Raiders should have looked at doing, and it would have given you
Nah.
more. It would have given you more go power in the forwards. Look at how fast you are,
Oh no, I know.
Charlie
but
Rossini.
Steve-
I don't
It
Yeah.
think.
actually would be better.
Oh no. I like the idea. Like, if I'm in lock, like I'm always like, it's my speed and like strength. Like I'm a strong fella, and I'm also fast. Like, that's
Yeah.
something you need in the lock spot. And because
That's what you
I'm
have.
a hooker, I'm a playmaker. So moving into lock makes that middle playmaker. So like, it's a good idea. We just got to see like when we want to do it though.
Because like,
I'd
here's
love
my
to
thing.
give Charlie. I'd love to give Charlie a chance in hooker. So it could be a possibility in the future though.
Because here's my thing with it, right? I don't think overall. I think for the most part, if you have decent defense, you're going to be alright at hooker, right? So I don't think Charlie Rossini would be that bad of an option to chuck there. If it means you get more go power in the forwards. So what I would have done, for example, is I probably would have moved. You moved Taringa Hafetu to number 8. You move one of your props to the bench, and you move Tim. Take Charlie off the bench, chuck him at hooker, move Tim to lock. I think that's a better side because it means you have 3 forwards that have genuine go power that can give more space for Barnes and Luke Thompson to do their thing.
Yeah, that's well said. I like that. Yeah. Oh, it's been brought up though. I'll say it's been brought up a couple times, but we're just waiting to see when we want to do it. Like we don't want to start off. There's like, I don't know how to say it, but we'll see when we do it. Like you'll see.
Fair enough
But
then.
it's all good. I like that idea.
I just found it quite funny that your captain felt it was very unnecessary to make sure he told everyone that that wasn't happening.
Oh, did it? Oh, that's right. He did do that, eh?
He wanted to make
Yeah.
sure everyone
Well,
knew that it wasn't happening.
Yeah, he had to make sure everyone knew that.
Like, not just everyone had to know that it was not happening, so... You know,
Yeah,
it
he
doesn't,
just
I
had
don't
to
think
make
it's ever
sure.
going to happen. By the sounds of that.
We just had to make sure that the boys don't get confused and like start causing some problems because like we might have guaranteed some things for people, so
Or
we don't want to
maybe,
like cause any problems.
or maybe they're just trying to throw us.
Ooh.
Ooh,
That's what I'm
I'll
thinking.
be doing that.
But anyways,
ooh, whatever.
maybe,
Alright.
maybe your captain, Mr. Gaval, wants to make sure that we don't suspect a thing for when he does it.
Yeah, it's all good. All right, so run us through the sponsors, Lachlan. I wanna
wanna
hear them.
I can run you through the sponsors. That's like part of my job, right?
No, it's not.
Saying that.
Yes, it is.
Come on.
All right, so I would like to thank. As I get up my sponsor sheet, I would like to thank the Hamilton Station Hotel for sponsoring the Newcastle Knights. I actually do quite like that. I actually think I wasn't a biggest fan of the Raiders logo on the jersey, but I think the Hamilton Station Hotel actually looks quite nice on the Newcastle jersey, in my opinion. There are a few that don't work, but I think it works quite well on the Newcastle Knights jersey. So thank you guys. We have the Blunt Collection sponsoring the Raiders, which actually sits nicely with their green. So again, that's another one that looks quite nice, I think. We then have the... We have Marcus Meats, obviously sponsoring Penrith. They've been very kind to us before. Luke Marcus, best forward in the comp. You know, he pays the bills, so he gets the meals. That sounds so wrong. I'm so sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
Well-
Okay, buddy, okay.
All right.
Yeah, lad.
I'm sorry. I should never have said that. But thank you, Marcus, for sponsoring Penrith. Absolutely unreal. We then have obviously National Sport Loaded sponsoring the Eels. They're in vice captain, who I think is actually probably one of the more underrated second rollers. Played very good at Nines too. He was very close to getting the number 8 spot, but we ultimately went with Mr. Luke Marcus, who was pretty unstoppable in the Nines. But he very underrated second rower. Nice dude. Next up we have, as I just find them. Obviously, yep, we have Rugby League Realm on Instagram sponsoring the Manly Seagulls, who was kind enough to obviously give us a massive shout out, gave us lots of players. Some of you might be watching that came from Rugby League Realm. So he's, you know, absolute legend sponsoring the Manly Seagulls jersey. Very, very big footy head. Very big footy head. He's very knowledgeable. I actually quite like his page. I followed it before I even hit him up. I was like, hey bro, you want to do something? And it's like, oh yeah bro, and I added him to the server. But yeah, he's very, very nice dude. I do quite like his you know, his Instagram account. Although he is a dragon supporter, so that's something you got to take in mind there.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a bit of.
I'm joking. We love the dragons around here. No dragon slander. And
Wouldn't
obviously, oh yeah, we have Footy Talks sponsoring the Rugby League. Oh, is it Rugby League Talk or Footy Talks? It's one of those. I think it's Footy Talks.
Rugby League Talk.
Oh, it's Rugby League Talks.
I
My
think.
bad there. Sponsoring the Rabbitohs.
Wow.
I've actually listened to their show.
Yep.
That show's quite good. I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, I think they're very knowledgeable, like Rugby League Realm. So, yeah, I quite enjoy that. Let me just find that we have Tiki Electrician sponsoring the Cowboys, and they I actually quite like their logo. The logo kind of suits the Cowboys one too. looks quite
What's
nice.
they called? Tiki, Tiki what?
Tiki Electrical.
Tiki Electrical. I'll have to check them out one day. Here we are.
We have Go Premium, which is another Reddit page, NRL Premium Plus, sponsoring the Warriors. Which is also another one that fits with the green color scheme.
Yes.
Obviously we have I don't know how I could nearly forget that this one we have. I think this is the last one. I just have Broncos left, right, to talk about. The Rugby League
it's the
Overhaul,
last one.
who, obviously Jack over at the Broncos, working on the Overhaul mod, fantastic mod, great mod. I've
It's
done
helped
stuff
us
with him
out
in
a
the
lot.
past. Obviously he makes all the jerseys, so shout out to you, Mr. Jack Carl. He probably hates me calling him his real name. He's gonna start crying now. Anyway,
He already is.
Dude,
He already
Um,
is.
shout out to you guys too. I think, is that everyone? Have I missed anyone?
yeah, I've got a
Thanks,
quick
everyone.
question. I've got a quick question.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
How much are these people paying you, mate?
that
Ooh.
remains confidential. I'm not. I'm no way in hell
Ooh,
revealing
that's
that here.
unfortunate.
That
That is,
It's a lot of
that
money. It
is
sounds
quite
like a lot of money.
unfortunate.
and obviously I'll quickly shout out to NRL Reddit because they're just awesome dudes at NRL Reddit. I love NRL Reddit.
Shout out NRL Reddit.
Jordan
Yeah.
Lewis and Kieran Wells, they've been awesome. And I think Jordan Lewis has been watching this because he's been saying stuff in the SRL chat. So you guys are awesome. You guys just get a freebie shout because you guys are awesome. Is that everyone? I think that's
Okay.
everyone.
I think,
that's
yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
Should we go on to round one then? That was sort of just to kill time, so we didn't have like a 2-minute episode just talking about ladder predictions in round one. Actually, we should ask the question: who's gonna get this MVP this year with the new overhaul?
I'll go first. Wait, the new overhaul.
Have you
Can
not
run
seen
me
legal
through that?
alerts?
Run me through that.
Have you not? Basically, so
Basically,
I'll run it through since
Okay,
Liam,
yeah.
I'm the commissioner. Let me run it through.
Jim?
Whoa.
Jesus.
This is a threat. No, I'm joking.
Damn.
Basically what it is basically it's now based off the stats, the MVP points, but it's also weighted depending on the position you played, and it's still 3-1 method for each match. So for example, 200 meters for a fullback is a lot easier to get than 200 meters for a forward. So the forward would get more points for 200 meters than a fullback would because it's harder for a forward to get 200 meters, pretty much.
Okay.
So who do we think's gonna get the MVP?
Alright.
I reckon Jesse Bennett.
That's who I'm thinking. I was thinking Jesse Bennett. That as soon as I cemented that, my first thought was Jesse Bennett. I think him. I think David Barner's a chance from the Warriors.
All
I-
forwards.
Here.
I think Chance Bunce is always going to be a chance no matter what.
Yeah.
Matt Harris, I think, is a decent chance. Do we have any Smokies?
Maybe.
I have a smoky.
Hey, go on.
Kane Chapman Kenny.
That's not a
I want to say that's a Smoky. He's a fullback.
It is.
He's a fullback. I want to say that's a Smoky. Maybe
I-
someone like.
Normally
Any
think
fullback.
man.
I'll say Tim James.
Oh no way.
Yeah, I think Lachlan Martin's a Smoky.
No, I
Tim
think
James.
I think Torrent Clay's a smoky too.
No.
To be
Being
honest.
for real. Being
Oh,
for real.
yeah.
I reckon. Maybe. What do we reckon?
I reckon Luke
Let me
Thompson's
look.
a Smoky. I'd say he's the best
Luke
half in the
Thompson.
comp. I think he's a real Smoky, Luke Thompson. Take it.
Really?
Maybe. Boys, this is a bit hard. There's a lot of good players out there. Maybe David Barner.
I mean,
that's
Snicko,
my
bro.
prediction.
Oh yes, Nico,
Shut
bro.
up.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, maybe David Barner. I reckon he's gonna get it.
Yeah.
He's gonna kick ass and get it up there.
Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Callum Irwin goes decent this year because of him taking it out.
I have a smoky.
Maybe I wouldn't even be surprised if a Smoky like Tyler Weston could be a real Smoky. That's a real Smoky, Tyler Weston.
I don't.
He was very good for Broncos last year. He was one of the better players, I thought. He could really
Nah,
shoot
I
up at the
can't-
Manly Eagles.
I don't know
Can't
how
say
much
a
of the
winger win
smoky
again.
is, but Aaron O'Hare has been a very good forward in the past, like three seasons or 2 seasons at lock.
It's been one season at lock.
Has it only been one?
It's
Oh,
only been one,
'cause
yeah.
I'm still-
What I
My
will
bad,
say
my
on Aaron O'Hara. I do think he's a genuine chance, but I think the Rabbitohs have to at least they have to make waves. They can't just get 8th and then Aaron O'Hara wins it. If you get what I'm saying.
No, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, they have to win. Like the Rabbitohs, if we didn't win games, like there's no way O'Hara, even if you think O'Hara was the best player on the field, there's no way someone gives him 3 points.
Well, no, we
because
won't be
usually
giving
the
it. It'll
winning
be based off
teams.
the stats if he has a good game.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, it'll be based off the stats. But I still think that like he can have a still good statistical season, but it just makes it harder to get those stats if your team does bad.
Yeah.
Which is why I think that, yeah, I think he might struggle. I think a smoky could even be someone like, who else do we have? Maybe like a Jordan Williams at the Broncos.
Maybe actually, yeah.
A very good defensive player. Someone that's very good defensively and can make damage in attack. That's why Jesse Bennett's the obvious pick. But
Prop.
Okay, cool.
My concern with Williams is I don't know he'll get enough minutes.
that's another thing, though. Where we know Jesse Bennett's going to get heaps of minutes at Manly.
I don't know how the Broncos use him because Allison's coming off the bench. I don't know if I see Carl playing Williams at second row because I'm pretty sure his speed isn't as good as a second rowers would be. So.
Although you could play him at, this
I
is what I quite find optimum at second row. The number 12 second row is a lot better defensive player, where the number 11 makes a lot more attacking stats. So if we could see him get chucked at 12 for 80, his defensive stats are, well, he didn't miss a tackle all last year. He's probably the best defensive player in the comp. You might be surprised what we see from him.
Yeah.
And one last bloke I want to talk about, always off the bench this week, but Samuel Tu'ua. He's someone that you have to watch out for when he gets his time starting, which I can't see him not going the entire year without starting. He'll get his time, Samuel Tu'ua.
I can't say if he doesn't start every week, he would be the MVP.
Well, I mean,
if I was going one from the Knights, I'd go Robbo Robertson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's another one that could go under the Raiders, Robbo Robertson. His tackle efficiency last season was it was exceptionally high for the amount of minutes he was playing. He gets a kind of a downgrade. Wait, prop. He was playing lock last season, wasn't he? Or am I just
he was playing
Was he
prop.
not?
He was playing prop. He sometimes switched to Chris Lord and played lock, but it was mostly playing prop.
Okay, yeah. But he just had insanely high tackle efficiency, so I wouldn't kind of rule him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. Is there any other bold predictions we have for the season, boys?
Nah, not really.
Rabbitohs to win the final.
Yep.
Yeah, the boy. No jokes. That wouldn't have happened. Never happened. No. Should we move on to our tips for this week then? I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should. So for the first game of the week, is it? Remind me, is it the Eels v Knights to kick us off?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Eels v Knights, the new franchise, versus the favourites for the Wooden Spoon, which is quite an interesting matchup we got going on.
Yeah.
I remember when I did my tips earlier. I had the Knights winning big. I just think the Eels don't stand a chance. I think the Knights are going to get off to their campaign to the SRL with a huge win, 13+.
Oh, you can go first, Tyron. I've got to think about mine a bit.
All right. So I agree with him. I think the Knights are going to win, but I don't think they're going to win 13+. I think they'll be around 1 to 2 try win, 6 to 12 points, somewhere around there.
Yeah, look, I think the Knights will win, but I think they do have a weakness in terms of, I think their edge defense could be a worry in terms of their second row centers, wingers, especially if outside of Ponkston, Elms, and Farfilly. 2 rookies. And Elms, he's always been a decent player, but he can't do it on his own being a winger out there. And then to mark them all in with Isaac Edwards, I think that could be a weakness to go. And they're up against probably the Eagles' strong attacking side with Jordan Ford, Cherry Evans, Thomas Bendonga around that side. I think that could be a weakness that the Eagles will need to exploit. Although, I just think that it's not to be too strong. Probably win about by 12 or so. 2 tries, I think I'll win by. I just think the Knights have got too much spark.
Yeah. I think the Eels are going to really struggle against a lot of teams. As for the Knights, like you said, weakness on the edge, but at the same time, you do have to remember that they have players like Jack O'Neill, like Logan Strange, who can really tear up the middle. Then you've got the wings of Maverick Oldfield and Robbie Elms. Robbie Elms has been a little quiet the past couple of seasons, but we know he has that kind of X factor in him. You also got Isaac Edwards, was a season 3. Was it season 3? Yeah, season 3 stunner. Like he was absolutely amazing in season 3. Had a little bit of a form drop in season 4, but still a great player. I have them winning 9-12. I think that the Knights are just going to be way too good for the Eels.
Yeah, look, I think with that point about Isaac Edwards, even like we gave him a chance to play back into the half at the end of last season, just sort of like I just felt like he deserved it after he spent that amount of time, out of position in the centres. Not a position he usually plays, and to be honest, he was probably one of our best players in both those games. We didn't concede at all, which I'm not sure if he was part of that. Probably wasn't, not being not a defensive player, but I think overall the Knights do have the better team on paper. I think even even probably their strong suit, the Eels, which is their spine, the Knights pretty much beat them all over the park. Is there any area that I'd probably say the Knights maybe tie with them in? Would be the halves. I'd say the Eels probably beat them in the halves. That's probably about it though, and it's only slightly.
Is it I don't know. I don't even know if the Eels beat them in the halves.
I think Cherry Evans and Blake Harris, they're very good players, I think. Cherry Evans absolutely tore apart the Knights, and he was very strong last season, Cherry Evans.
I can't say that. I'm not going to say the Nines shows me much until he puts in a performance at 5'8". I just don't think.
They're more solidified, in my opinion.
Cherry Evans hasn't done anything at 5'8". I've just never seen him perform up to expectation. I've never seen him.
You haven't really seen a lot of Matty Vaughan.
That's true.
Yeah, but Matthew
Vaughan is pretty much... He's played off the bench at hooker for most of his career. He's pretty much a nobody in terms of starting at 5'8". I think he started one game at 5'8". I don't remember how he went at all.
At least
pretty well.
At least the Eels halves have both played halves before.
And they've both played together. Actually, have they? No, they haven't played together. Have they?
They haven't played together. Cherry Evans has played, I believe.
When did he play half? I don't remember.
No, that's what I'm saying. They haven't played together though, Cherry Evans, Blake Harris. They both played half last season at some point. But they swapped. They never played together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that the Isaac Edwards is so class when he's on. But in saying that, when he's not on, he is one of the worst halves in the game when he's not on.
That's the thing. He has to. I hope Logan Strange is the best out of Isaac Edwards. He had a very bad form slip at Penrith, and he had a few games at the Rabbitohs where he did questionable decisions under pressure. I do get worried about Isaac sometimes in terms of if his head isn't just in the game. I think that in order for the Knights to for the Knights to get the best out of him, they sort of just need that go forward, give him room to do what he needs to do. and we can get the best out of him. Because you know we've seen him play at State of Origin. He tore apart New South Wales at State of Origin. We know we can play well. He just needs to show everyone else that he can consistently.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next game. And I believe it is
Panthers and
the
Seagulls.
Panthers?
Yep.
Seagulls, it is. All right, so you boys go first this time.
All right.
I guess it's my club, so I guess I'll start.
Yeah, right.
I think this game is pretty much 50-50, to be honest. I think it's a very even game. Manly still have a very strong forward pack. Panthers have a very strong forward pack. Some of which played for them last season. Obviously, Creed got transferred to Broncos, but banned now at hooker for Penrith. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes against his old club. KSK against his old club. I think if I have to name, I think it's going to be a very tough battle. I think it'll be a low scoring game. Maybe like 12-10 or something. I'm tipping Penrith purely because I want us to win, but it's going to be a very tough game, I have a feeling of.
All right. I'll go next.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as Lachlan said, I think it'll also go 50-50. Could come down to the last 5 minutes. But I'm just looking at both sides, and I just think Penrith will have the quality to win the game, and I reckon they'll win 5-8.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I agree. Penrith, I don't think they're going to win by a whole lot. I have them down 1-4. But yeah, it should be a very good game to watch. Manly have been a powerhouse since season 2, really. And yeah, it will be a very interesting game to watch. If Penrith can pull this off, I think they're really good contenders for the premiership. But it just comes down to little game day nerves. If Panthers can perform.
Now, I've got to ask a few
But
questions
I think
here. Oh, sorry, Liam, you go on.
But I think that's a bit of a saying that it's going to come down to the premiership. That could come down to a premiership. I think that's a bit of an overstatement. But
No, I said that this could show whether or not they are contenders. Like if they get blown out of the park, they're not contenders. You can't.
I would like to point out before
Yeah.
you say that, Butters, if you do remember last season, the Cowboys lost round 1 to Manly 24-6. Everyone ruled them out.
Yeah, but
This game could end up meaning nothing if we turn it around.
yeah, but at the same time, would you have said that the Cowboys were real contenders up until the grand final?
I said they were all contenders the moment they was leading 48-6 in the first half against the Eels.
Against the Eels.
Yeah, but like what it showed to me is that they were willing to just be absolutely ruthless. And look, they ended up to go and win the comp, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, and good on them. But
The moment they always like from that last round onwards, pretty much you could sort of see the Cowboys are starting to come together, and they ended up destroying the Warriors. They ended up smashing Manly, and then they got past the Raiders. You know, this is a marathon. Round 1 can mean Jack. Round 1 will mean Jack if when we get to round 7, won't it? Or round 9, sorry.
oh,
well, it could mean Jack, but it could also mean crucial 2 points.
It could. I'm not saying we want to lose this match because it's only round 1. Every point counts. What I'm saying is we've got to build to something here. Like, if we lose this game, it's not the end of the world. We still have 8 other rounds to win.
no,
Or 7 other games to win, sorry.
no, but it's a lot
Sure.
easier to go into the rest of the season knowing that. With the confidence that you beat Manly, it's a real good confidence.
It does give you
boost.
confidence.
What the Cowboys did last year was find confidence in other areas, and not really thinking about that first game. Whereas if they had won that game, I think that everyone would have looked at them as if they were like premiership contenders, and that would have improved their confidence, so they wouldn't have needed to find that external confidence.
Fair enough then. I do want to point something out about Manly's team, which I'm happy for them that they did this because, you know, I think it's an easy team as to what they could have named. But I find it quite interesting that they've started Lennox Prakash off the bench over Hayden Millert. Now, Hayden Millert is no sleeper. He's a very good player. I worked with him a bit when he was at Penrith. But I think it's very bizarre to start Lennox Prakash, who I think is a really underrated forward at Manly Pack, off the bench. I would have personally been starting him over Millert.
Yeah, they could be doing something like they could play him 60 minutes off the bench because they may just take Mellor off at 40 minutes and then play Prakash actually gets more minutes.
Yeah, that's true. But I also think that
Yeah,
I also think
Manly
that'd be
do
better.
like to
I
do
also
that.
think that getting a good start is very, very crucial in a lot of these games. And I think the fact that Mellert's starting over him is a bit of concern. I also think that, like, at the end of the day, what he could have done is he could have been playing. He could have been playing most of his big forwards 40 to 60 minutes, which I guess he could still do that, but it makes it a lot more interesting now. I don't know. I just don't think it's a. I don't think it's a smart decision. Personally, I would be starting him, Alex Prakash.
I Manly have always got a plan. So I think
They do. They
they've
do always
got-
have a plan.
They don't go in without a plan. So yeah, it's my tip for this game. I reckon. I don't know. I feel like they're gonna struggle a bit from the start. I think they're gonna take a bit to get used to each other. I'll go Penrith by 1.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I agree with that.
I think this game will be a very. It's going to show us a lot about both teams, and I'm very nervous for it because it's a very hard start. And the thing is, if we lose this game, we can't win to round 3. So this game could realistically go either way. And to be honest, this could be the grand final. I know I'm saying that's a Penrith fan, but I think both teams have the capability to get to the grand final.
All right, let's move on to the next game. So the next game is, I believe, it's the Warriors versus the Raiders.
That is true.
Who wants to start us off?
I guess I will then. I guess I'll start us
No.
off.
Alright.
Look, I think both teams have. They're very good team. I think both teams are going to be in the same boat this season where there'll be moments in the season where we think, oh, they could make top 4, but ultimately they end up finishing like just outside of that group that had a genuine competition chance of making the top 4. They'll be around the 7th to 5th mark. Both these teams, I think. Overall, I think the Warriors have a better side on paper. And I think the fact that they've been together for a season is going to help in this game, where I think the Raiders are going to take a little bit to get used to each other, so I'm going to be tipping the Warriors just maybe like 5 points or something. Well, not 5 points, like 10 points or something. 6 to 10.
Alright. Well, I'll go next.
All right.
And I'm going to go bold. I think the Warriors are going to blow the Raiders out of the park.
No.
Oh my.
I really do. Warriors are at home. I think Bunce will perform. And I think everyone will perform. And I just think if the Warriors can perform, like everyone can perform well, they are a very hard side to beat. And I think they're going to thrash them. 13 plus.
Fair enough.
What concerns me about the Warriors is the use of John Nanai. They haven't been able to get the best out of him, and he's by far on paper Using a spreadsheet, he's by far the best forward. Max strength, max speed, probably
Yeah.
close to max break tackle. But for whatever reason, they can't get the
Second
best out of him.
row.
They tried him off the bench,
Yeah.
but they're trying him in the second row. I think
It could be
I
interesting.
think he needs to spell him at lock. Similar to what,
Yeah.
Jason Tablolo does in the NRL. Swap David Barner and Nanai, and have Nanai just run at plays up the middle. I think that's
Yeah.
what they could use. I think that's the way they have to fix Nanai, because otherwise he's not really doing much at the moment, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not getting enough minutes, I don't think. Like, that 40 minutes is not enough. He needs 65, and he can get 65 strong running minutes at lock.
Well, he's
Like, I
playing
think
second
he'd
row
be
at the
awesome
moment.
there.
But I think that second row, and I think second row, the
it's
problem with second row
hard
is,
job,
is
people.
in Rugby League 4, the only way they, get through for line is be by a pass that puts them into space. They don't break the line themselves.
Yeah.
Where Nanai is very strong, I think lock is the position for him, personally.
Yeah, he can sort of barge off people. I do like lock for him. I think that would be a very smart use of him. So I think that the Raiders will win by. I reckon they'll win by 4. I just think that they'll be too strong. With the likes of Tarahu Fehu and Rahul Kawal. I think their backline is pretty decent. Eli Barnes, he'll probably make 1 to 2 big plays that will change the game for them. I just think they'll be too classy, to be honest.
I agree with you, Liam, but I'm going to go a step further and say that they win by 6. I think that the Warriors just don't have the team to keep up with the Raiders at the moment. It's not to say that there's a major difference between the two teams, but I think, I think it will come down to whether or not certain players in that Warriors team can put up a performance.
Yeah.
Fair
Alright,
enough,
so-
then. We've one game left this
So
round.
moving on. Yeah. So moving on to the last game of the round is the Broncos v Rabbitohs. Who's starting us off?
Oh god.
I guess I'll go. Since I'm the only one that's not Rabbitohs here. I think it's a case of Rabbitohs by how much. I'm sorry, Liam, Tyrone, and Butters.
By how much? Thanks.
Did I say Rabbitohs?
Yeah.
You
I
said
meant
Rabbitohs.
Broncos.
Thank
Oh my
you.
God.
Thank you.
I think it's a case
Thank
of
you,
Broncos by how
Lachlan.
much.
Oh well.
They beat them pretty much all over the park. If there was a weakness that the Rabbitohs could exploit, the
think it's the
only thing I
centers.
could say is maybe if the Rabbitohs defense we know is good. Maybe if their defense can just frustrate the likes of Carl and
If the
Sam
Broncos
Herman
make a few early
and Corey
errors,
Bell, if their defense can basically defend enough where they get frustrated and do bad decisions, that's the only way I can really see the Rabbitohs beating them. Otherwise, they're beating all over the park.
the Broncos from a couple of sins I've ran, if the Broncos make a couple early errors, a couple early errors is all it takes, really. If a team scores a couple of tries early on, I mean, it's game on. Even either side's beaten all over the park. Like we see, even good teams like Manly make a few errors, but it's just whether you can back it up in defense, which Manly are able to do, in fairness.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Broncos by probably like 10.
Sure. Look,
What is it?
I disagree. I think that the what's it called? The Rabbitohs are getting a little underdone. Well, I mean, look, our forward pack is not the greatest, but I don't think you can say that we get beaten around the park.
I was one area you beat them in then.
Huh?
Where's one area you beat the Broncos in?
I'll say
I'll give you one. The fullback. Other than fullback.
Yeah, I'll give you. Yeah.
But that's barely an error when you have, in order for Liam to get space, he needs to have other players around him to help him. He can't just do it magically. So what other areas do you beat them in?
Again.
I believe.
Oh,
Hold up, I need to bring it up again just so I don't fuck anything up. Just make sure I don't do that. Why didn't we play him? But where's the Broncos? I would take our I would take O'Hare over Hunt any day of the week. I would take Thorn over Kowal at the lock. Hooker. I would take. Ooh, no, I'm not going to push that too far. I don't
think
like
even so, right? Like you're saying, you take those players, right? Personally, I think they're pretty much matched. The pair you mentioned, like Simon Hunt, he's a very good lock. He was underused at Brisbane. I remember at Penrith, he was easily MS forward, easily
over here.
So I think they're tied, and I think Rohan, Caval, and James Thorne aside, you still haven't given me a position that they beat them in that isn't fullback, which we've mentioned it, and Corey Bell's still very good fullback anyway. So
I don't think it disagreed, but
Kowal,
I'm sorry, you go.
Kowal, I think he makes so many errors. I don't think he's very good at hooker. Whereas Thorne can actually.
Based off what he hasn't played as hooker, we know he can pass the ball. That's all he really needs to do. If he's a decent defender too. He won a premiership.
He won a premiership with a really.
I'll give you. All right, Thorne. Maybe Thorne is more proven than Caval, but it doesn't mean I necessarily think Thorne's definitely a better player than Caval, than Rohan Caval. But he's more proven. At hooker.
Kowal's in an absolutely stacked side. You can't really say because he won a premiership, he's more proven than Thorne when he's never played a game at hooker.
I said that Thorne is more proven at hooker. I said that Caval is definitely has more experience in big games. Definitely, he's won a premiership. You said he made lots of errors. He's won a premiership, so he doesn't make that many errors. All right. And he's playing in a entirely different position. Hooker. He doesn't have to worry about kicking anymore, which is where the vast majority of his errors come from. I think he'll be alright, Caval, and I think overall, Rabbitohs get blown up the park by them.
I don't think we get blown out.
And to be honest, right, I was telling Jack this earlier. To be honest, I want you guys to either win the game, Rabbitohs to win the game, or Broncos to win by about 60. So those are your two options you have. Either make the game interesting by Rabbitohs winning by about, or Rabbitohs just winning, or Broncos destroying them. None of this, Rabbitohs might win, but then ultimately lose like 20-12 BS. No, they have to be either destroyed or Rabbitohs win.
Why is this?
I just felt like that's a funny thing. If Rabbitohs have to either win the game, this is what I want to happen. In my ideal world, Rabbitohs either win or Broncos destroy Rabbitohs by 50 points.
Okay.
So those are your two options there, Liam, alright?
Okay, I don't pick either. Lol.
So you're just going to lose them?
I'll just win, and then...
that's one of the options. Yep. That's one of the options I mentioned. Anyways.
Maybe we... Yeah.
Maybe we just win, we just lose by like 8.
Maybe we lose by 4. You never know.
That would make me sad. Because it wouldn't be an interesting game. Bad for viewership.
God damn it.
Does anyone else have their predictions, their bias
predictions? Me. Biased?
Yeah,
I'm going to go biased.
Time.
South to win 1-4.
Fair enough.
Yep, so I think that's pretty much wrapped the episode tonight. Thank you all for listening to the show tonight. We'll be back next week. Thank you all.